Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Simo. 10 years ago, on this day, Conduit 2 had released. Now, let me ask you a question. Would it shock you to find out that people actually still play this game? And still play this game online too? Well, don't be surprised, don't be shocked, because it's actually something that happens. And it happens pretty much every Sunday night and some other times on different days too. In fact, here is a little bit of a short snippet of me playing this game just yesterday, actually. Now, this might actually be a little bit of a shock for most people, because for all the people that are in the know, you might realize that, wait a second, the Wii servers were turned off in like 2014, and so how in the world are people playing this game? And why does it look so weird?
Fight! Our abilities are tied to our internal energies, for lack of a better term.
And what's up with these little weird artifacts and glitches? And it really just seems to bug up. And why is the camera looking like this? Well, it is a lot to talk about, and there's actually something I want to ask for people at the end of it, and it will make a lot more sense once you continue watching this video. But the main thing I want to talk about is really, especially for me in particular, how this game, Conduit 2, even after all this time, is still the game that keeps on giving. What you're watching right now is actually one of my older videos I had made for this game. It was actually a montage called Same. It's just based off the title of the song that you're listening to. The track Same by Mr. Bill, and then called Evoke, now called Alden Groves. And I really enjoyed the song. It was the first song I really got into with Mr. Bill, and it's something I really wanted to use for this montage because it just felt very unique, very cool to listen to. And at the end of the day, I just enjoyed the heck out of it. But one thing in particular that you'll notice with that intro sequence, and also throughout that entire montage in particular, is the cinematic use. And the cinematic use for me was definitely something I really wanted to go hard in with that particular montage. But even then, there were some very interesting limitations that I had just based off the fact that it was playing only on the Wii. And so, watch this video to know what I'm talking about. This particular video right here was done utilizing a particular thing on Conduit 2 using Dolphin Emulator. Dolphin Emulator is basically the Wii and GameCube emulator for both, just both of those things, of course. But there are some very interesting features and very interesting aspects in particular with Conduit 2 that really make this possible. Let me explain. The most obvious aspect of this video is the fact that there's a weird free cam thing, and it's like, how is he doing that? Well, that's actually because Dolphin has the free cam thing. It's pretty much exactly how I'm getting it, so that the camera zooms from this way to the other and this way back, and in fact, really, it's actually something that's just kind of a neat feature regardless. And it's how I'm able to get the camera motions that I am. Also, there's some other interesting aspects when it comes to disabling what is called fog within Dolphin. Dolphin is a really cool emulator for a lot of different reasons, and it has all the basic stuff like, you can play it, better resolutions, and like play your old Wii games as long as you got the game files for that and all that kind of stuff. But disabling fog, it's just going to get rid of a lot of like interesting little blur effects and fog effects and things of that sort, and it happens to basically do the blur thing within the pause menu of Conduit 2. So if you pause the game, disable the blur, you actually will get rid of pretty much that, and all you really need to do at that point is get rid of all the textures that are just floating around all the random places, and you can pretty much have a free cam mode where the dude is frozen in midair and basically about to hit his wall in the back, like that. Oh, and actually this scene, for anyone that's played this game back in the early days before it was even released, yeah, this is exactly that same scene. Check it out.
Sweet! Now they're fighting each other. I don't know what's going on here, but I like it.
One other thing that I also liked about Conduit 2 that I didn't really know until basically a little bit later when I was playing the game is that this game actually ran at 60 FPS. But actually that's actually not true. It's even better than that. It actually runs at an uncapped frame rate. Yes, you heard me right. Conduit 2 runs at an uncapped frame rate. Very weird, very strange, and I don't know why they decided to do that, but I'm not unhappy. Because this is one of the things that actually made the whole cinematic montage thing work out pretty well. In fact, I did a little bit of a quick test when I first got my newest computer to pretty much play this game. I wanted to test out what it looked like at 144 Hz if I kind of recorded it. Now, technically it's recording at 120 because that's all the OBS can go up to, but it turns out it works out pretty well and it makes for some very smooth slow motion aspects. Just check out this quick test thing. And utilizing that, I was actually able to make something like this. Just a quick little thing, and it's not really all that interesting, I don't think, but it's something I kind of liked and definitely something that I could use in the future. And again, it's just more with cinematic stuff. But with all this being in mind, like, I would have loved to known about this and been able to use this even back when Conduit 2 was still officially around. Like, not just, utilizing, like, hack servers, or, I don't know, not really hack servers, but just, like, private servers that are meant to keep the game online and archive it and all that fun stuff. Now, keep in mind, I was still able to do something like this with the actual hacks type of stuff, like, for example, moon jumping, or basically just flying really high in the air. In fact, I utilized this in this particular scene with my last montage. But I would have loved to have been able to do that utilizing actual Dolphin nowadays when I actually have access to it today. So, but the coolest thing though is that even with all that being said, it's the fact that I have the ability to actually play this game online nowadays. That's the biggest thing for me. This aspect of Dolphin emulator, like in the weird thing with uncapped frame rate with Conduit 2 and all this kind of weird stuff, it's something that actually excites me about playing this game on Dolphin. Because these are not necessarily things that are available on the Wii, obviously. And even if they are, they're not necessarily as easily accessible as you might think. And certainly put in place with the limitations it has because, well, it's the Wii. In terms of hardware, it's like a souped up Xbox or GameCube. Not that good. Especially compared to my laptop, which has an RTX 2060 in it, which even by today's 2021 standards is somewhat outdated. But yeah, there's like no way that you're gonna be able to do, souped up GameCube at the same level as an RTX 2060 or even anything remotely close to that. Even a few generations back, the closest you're probably gonna get to is about the 700 or maybe even 600 series graphics cards, and that came out a long time ago. However though, just like anything that has a lot of promise but has some faults in it, this is also the same thing that is the case with Conduit 2 running on Dolphin. Because it's such a weird game, it's such a strange game, and it has lots of quirks and lots of weird things about it that really don't make it the best, most playable thing on PC. And while it has all these awesome features, there's also this side of the coin too. Yeah, not that fun. And again, keep in mind, I'm playing on an RTX 2060. Like, I have a laptop for it, but it's like a super awesome gaming laptop, and it's only been about a year. It's not gonna die that fast, to the point where, like, this is the problem. And I don't know what else to really do about this or even say about this. It's something that it's gonna need a lot of time and work for Conduit 2 for it to work on this system and just on Dolphin in general. And in fact, I'm not the only one. There's also other people that I know that have similar rigs, or at the very least powerful, like way beyond powerful enough rigs to play this game, but just run into all sorts of weird issues and really don't know why it's the case. So there's going to be some things that are going to need a lot of work on it, and really this is kind of the bit where I'm pretty much just asking for help with this. For those that are really good at technical programming and things of that sort, this is definitely something where your time to shine, overall. And I think this game has a lot of potential. I would really like your help, and a lot of other people would too, where it becomes extremely viable for making this game playable on Dolphin in a way that really you might not expect. There's a lot of things I don't know when it comes to programming, and the most programming I know is basically GlovePie, Bonus Max, and some slight programming knowledge from those two things. Like, we're talking real basic stuff. And the other thing about this too is that, like, it's not just Dolphin that really would like help with. One of the interesting things that I loved about this game is that it actually had the ability to do updates and patches on it. Now, I wouldn't say there was necessarily that many, and it certainly didn't last that long, given that Nintendo's infrastructure is probably not the best suited for it, but the unique circumstances with this game in particular actually made it so that this is something we can take advantage of. In fact, I can look at the actual patch files right now, open them up in a hex editor and see that, oh wow, this is really interesting stuff. I hope I can use this for later. And the thing about it is that, like, this is something that I would absolutely love to take advantage of. And this is not something that can just be done only on Dolphin. Like I was insinuating, you can use this on the Wii too, because this was made for the Wii. This is how the update files were given, via the save files on the Wii. And so because of that, and because Dolphin has access to that in the same way, because yeah, again, it's an emulator meant to emulate the Wii and GameCube, then yeah, you could basically do the same thing as you can on the Wii and the Dolphin. And if there's a way that we can make it so that the whole game is a lot more playable, then holy crap, that's amazing. And these are things that Metroid Prime mouse hack community basically says that yeah, this is possible in some ways and other ways and all these kinds of things. And at the end of the day, it's something that I'm going to need a lot more help with, because it's something I don't know much about. I'm willing to take the time to do it. I mean, heck, I've been trying to spend a whole entire year trying to learn how they do their mouse hack stuff for Dolphin, and there's some progress being made. But either way, it's something that I definitely would like to have more help with. And again, I think this is an opportunity, because there's something special about this game that even for the people that still play on the Wii itself, still play 10 years after this time, there's something special about this game. And maybe you had to be there, maybe you kind of had to be on launch day and getting hyped about the game and just playing it and stuff like that. But really, at the end of the day, I would love to be able to capitalize on the opportunity that, the fact that people 10 years later are still playing this game. That should tell you something right there. So, I haven't been posting for a good little while, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I'm not able to get onto all of it because I want to make an actual dedicated long form video about it, but we'll just simply say that with 2020, it was not the prettiest to me whatsoever. There's a few people that absolutely know about what happened, and if you ask them, like, you would definitely be able to get a reassurance on that front. But we'll just simply say that a lot of things had happened over the course of the year, and it's coming up on that year-long mark. And about on June 6th is going to be about that year-long mark where pretty much everything started to just change in most ways for the worse. But at the end of the day, I definitely want to let you guys know and say that, hey, I'm still here. I want to come back and do YouTube videos in a different way, not mostly for gaming. For the Conduit 2 stuff, I still want to keep this channel alive for that, especially if we can get this going off the ground and basically make this game reformatted to work on Dolphin and improve it in other ways for the Wii. But at the end of the day, I don't think that this channel is going to be necessarily alive for the reasons that it was before, because in a lot of ways the times have changed. Montages are not necessarily something that is nearly as big as before, just for lots of reasons. There's still people that make it work, and like this channel right here, he did some cool stuff on Call of Duty just like it was back in 2012 and whatever else, but you don't see channels like this all the time now, and so that's not really much of a thing. Call of Duty in general for me is more or less dead. I'm actually enjoying more of the co-op aspects of games. I've been playing a lot more Killing Floor 2 more recently, and oh my gosh, the game is a lot of fun. And currently right now, the Overwatch game is actually having its own co-op mission stuff. It's, you know, archive seasonal event thing. So that's a lot of fun there too. And there's a few other games that I'm still typically playing and enjoying at the end of the day. And so I'm just saying this basically to say that, you know, I think the circumstances have changed for what my channel has been. But that's not to say, again, I'm not gonna be posting ever. Again, I want to make this long form video, so there's at very least that. But also I want to shift my focus from that onto what I'm currently doing right now, which is drawing. I've made a commentary before talking about basically the question and things like that I had for myself, is that how do I answer this question if I think it's a lie? And that was mostly referring to why in the world do people think I'm talented at drawing when that's really not the case. And I still don't think I'm talented, by the way, but I have better answers for that for myself now. And because of that, I'm capitalizing on that sort of thing that people seem to recognize and say, oh wow, you're pretty good at this. And I want to make a living off of it, which is why I've been posting every day on Instagram for pretty much the past year. There's some dates and days that I've not been able to keep up to that, but again, that's coming back to the long form video. There's lots of things about that I really want to talk about, but again, I want to make sure it's all in the proper context and not just like freakazoid shock you, because I could shock you with a couple facts right now, but again, I want to save that for later, you know, when the actual video is released. And so I want to try to get this regardless. That's pretty much all I gotta say, because those two dates are in particular important for me and really overall, but I don't know how exactly to go about it, but we'll save that for when we get closer to it. Either way, that's definitely something I want to let you guys know on. So again, I'm not necessarily going to be posting that much, and I still would like to do montages. They're not unfun, they're just not popular enough for me to demand the time to do it all out like I did before. Who knows, maybe I'll still do a couple here and there, and certainly if there comes a game where I get super invested in it and it's like Call of Duty back in the day was, and you know, people just all of a sudden just get into it like that, and yeah, sure, definitely. But I don't think that there's necessarily that many games that are suited for me like it was for Conduit 2 and Call of Duty back in those days, because man, that was a lot of fun, but those games are more unique in what they're doing. And to be honest with you, ever since Conduit 2 kind of died off in the massive popularity that it has had thanks to the Wii shutdown, there hasn't really been that many other games where I've been able to excel in enough to be able to do that kind of stuff on the regular, because there's some awesome clips I definitely got in that game, but it was more like a one-off in a lot of ways. So there you go. But if you like anime art, or if you like, you know, occasionally realistic portrait art and just you know, me doing a blog style drawing thing, and occasionally with some music and stuff like that, just follow me on Instagram. I'll put a link in the description there. But regardless, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Hopefully you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.